Everybody, so today I want to talk about discrimination. The reason I want to do this video today is because I've been in conversations with people who perceive themselves to have been racially discriminated against in one way or the other. And if you've ever felt you've been racially discriminated against, it's a very scarring experience. And if you're not careful, it can scar you for life. It can actually rob you of your self-confidence. It can rob you of your drive. And the reason is because it makes you feel helpless. It's hurtful to see people derogate you or disrespect you based off of something that you have no control over. Having said that, I'm doing this video to let you know that not everything is a racial discrimination. Now, I'm not doing it to deny the fact that racial discrimination exists, but I'm just trying to point out the fact that there are different types of discrimination. There are so many types of discrimination that it's so easy to lump everything together as racial discrimination. Now, some of these discrimination are mild, while some are extreme. And in no particular order, I'm just going to talk about different types of discrimination. So the first one on the list is classism. So classism are people who regard you or disregard you based on your economic or social status. Now, for example, have you seen somebody you are trying to relate with the person and the person is just giving you a cold attitude, and maybe a third party shows up and like, have you met this person? He's the CEO and the director of so and so. And the same person goes, oh, nice to meet you. How are you? That's a typical example of classism. The next one is sexism. Sexism are basically people who tend to favor only one particular gender. Now, it could go both ways. It could be a man who only likes to favor women, or it could be a man who only likes to favor men, or it could be a woman who likes to favor only men, or a woman who likes to favor just women. So it can go both ways. The third one is eugenics. Now, this one is a little tricky. Eugenics is a type of controlled procreation process. It's a belief that you can make the next generation better if you can control who they have children with. I believe it started in the royal family, where when the royal family would not allow any of their offspring marry outside of the royal blood, this kind of made them intermarry. And also people took it to another level. Now, depending on what your morals are, there are people who would eat with you, they will drink with you, they will work with you, but when it comes to trying to intermarry with any of their blood, their sibling or their daughter or son, it's a no-go area. And the reason is because they are trying to preserve their ancestry, they are trying to preserve their race, or they are trying to preserve whatever they hold dear. The extreme of eugenics is xenophobia, which is also another type of discrimination I don't even want to talk about today. Now, to take it further, there used to be a time when if a couple were to get married, each family would send private investigators to go investigate the other family. I said earlier, depending on what you hold valuable to you, they are investigating to see if lunacy runs in the other family. They want to know if crime runs. It's like doing a background check. They want to know about the family their daughter or son will be marrying into. So that's a type of eugenics also, because in endorsing or preventing that marriage, you can actually save the next generation of a lot of trauma or trouble, quote unquote. The fourth one is profiling, or something I call stereotyping. Profiling is a situation where somebody decides to judge a whole race just because of one experience you had or something somebody shared with you about a particular person. You make a generic assumption about a whole race of people because of that one experience. And this kind of situation, you see it mostly with movies. You see it with people who tell stories, who hand down stories to their children and their grandchildren. They never ever make it a personal situation. They always want to generalize. Number 5 is the most popular one, the racial discrimination based off of you discriminating against other people just because you perceive your color to be superior to another person. Now, this one is the one I consider the most foolish. Why do I consider it so? If you run an x-ray on people of different races and you take out the bone structure, there is no way you can tell the difference of which one is black, white, yellow, green, or brown. All of the bone structures look the same thing. They bleed the same blood, they breathe the same air, and they have the same life expectancy, except where economic status or economic situations vary. So I don't see why you think you are better than any other person. When I see people who perceive themselves to be like that, I just consider them as people who are ignorant. And that is how I expect people to treat people who are considered racist. I don't, it's not to hate on anybody, but I think it's ignorant to think that you are better than any other person just because of your pigmentation. It doesn't make sense. The sixth one is power tripping. These are people who don't know how to handle power. People who, when you put them in position, they tend to harass people and run everybody down with it. They don't know how to handle power. It's also a type of discrimination. So I hope with these few points of mine that I've made, you are able to take it easy on yourself and not actually hate yourself because you feel like you are disadvantaged because of your color. I want you to know that the creator of this universe will never, ever, ever allow you be limited by anything you have no control over. The place you were born, the color, your race, and a lot of other things you had no control over. You even had no say in as far as this earthly experience is concerned. So I hope this makes you feel better. If you have ever been discriminated against, especially if you perceive it to be racial, I sympathize with you. At the same time, I want you to know that not every discrimination is racial. Not every discrimination is based off of your complexion or your pigmentation. Sometimes some people are just plain silly and don't know how to handle the situation. So I hope this makes you feel better, and I hope the next time you perceive yourself to be racially profiled, you handle it with a lot more maturity and understanding.